Hello and welcome. It's our Edo's Films of 2021.
We made it.
Which means all of Edo is here.
Yes.
All of us are here in our seats. I don't know why I said seats so weirdly, but I'm Will.
Josh.
I can stand up.
I'm Sam.
What's this chaos?
What's
Ben.
Ben, yeah, okay, cool.
He did it.
Good to know. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ben.
I don't know what was happening.
Yeah,
I was
no,
just
clearly.
going with the vibes.
Oh god, Komodo just told me that there's something in my computer that's going to give me a virus.
It's Ben.
Well, let's talk about our films of the year. We're going to start from 5, go up to 1. And I'm going to kick things off with my number 5, which is It's No Time to Die. I'm going to kick us off with a big old James Bond flick. If you watched the Game of the Year one, which I think will happen after this, I mentioned that, so you got to watch these things backwards, that there are like 3 things that came out this year that shouldn't have worked. This is another one of those things. And this film makes a choice with James Bond, which no other film has dared to do. And I don't think any other Bond film would be able to do. They create a narrative for that to work. And I mean, the whole Daniel Craig era did. But this film in its own, I watched it with my parents. I don't think Mum has seen, she's probably similar to you. She might have seen Casino Royale and that's about it.
Yep.
Within this film, I think sets up a precedent where that's okay, which is crazy. It's a very long film, but it just does, I think, everything right for a Bond movie. And that's why it's my number 5.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Mine, look, I didn't see all that many films this year. So my list to choose from was pretty short. But my number 5 for this was Shang-Chi. I had a lot of fun with it. It had some great action sequences and great comedy and stuff. I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing more of him in the rest of the MCU.
Yep.
I think we all had sort of some problems with the third act.
Yeah.
It was a little bit messy in there, but leading up to that, I just really enjoyed all of that. Just great choreography, action sequences,
Totally.
all that sort of stuff. So that's made I'm not much of a film buff, so I have not much to say about any of these films. But yeah, just really enjoyed that as my number 5.
Very cool. So my number 5 is...
We'll go this way. It's all right. Sam's jumped on it now. We're going this way.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I've forgotten the order.
No, there was a long
I'm really
pause.
sorry.
No, to be fair, there was a long pause. Ben did nothing about it. You jumped on it, so you deserve to have number 3.
Wasn't that long of a pause.
No, it was
Thank
too long
you.
a pause, Ben. Sam filled in the silence. He deserves to be number 3 on this now. You're
Fine.
You're last,
Fine.
Ben.
Well, it's because my number 1 is great. So that's
Okay, fine. Take that,
cool.
Benjamin.
Well, back to my number 5 is Army of the Dead.
Cool.
Nice.
So purely just because like the movie, again, it does have like some issues as like most movies do. I was very much the same as you, Josh, where I didn't see a lot this year. So yeah, that's my number 5 just because like I find that like with Snyder, I just really enjoy the way he makes films look and the cameras that he uses. Like I love a good amount of depth in things, you know, and like you can really see that in this film. But yeah, it was just cool like seeing what he had done with his whole world of like the zombies and like the apocalypse and everything, and how they sort of going about getting this team into Vegas to steal like a large sum of cash. But then like just seeing that the zombies themselves have like their own little world and like way of talking to one another. And there's like a hierarchy in their own little world. It was really interesting. Again, it does have its bumps, but that's why it's not number 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, Army of the Dead. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend if you like a good zombie flick.
I am wondering with that, there is one thing in that film that still gets to me.
Yeah.
And I wish they mentioned anything about it. I wonder whether, because they seem to sort of set up a sequel, so I wonder whether they'll and has it been confirmed that he's coming back? Was there a trailer like Another of the Dead?
There's a prequel movie that dropped late this year.
That's right. Yeah.
So like there's a prequel that's come out, but I think there may be a sequel happening.
Cool.
Like a series or something.
Yeah. So when 2 of the guys get to the vault and they see corpses that are wearing exactly the same things that they were, and they're like, is this some sort of time loop? I was like, I was like so on board at that stage. I'm like, holy crap, this is going to get freaking weird. And they never revisit it.
Yeah, it's like that is an actual thing. He implemented the idea of there being a possible time loop.
Yeah.
And then I missed it, but at the beginning or somewhere throughout the film, you see like alien like ships fly across the sky at one point. So it's like
Really?
yeah. So it's like it's sort of to like give the idea that the virus is alien.
Yeah, right.
So he's added things here and there that he can build off of in the future if he comes back to do more.
Yeah.
But like the thing with the time loop, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But then it never got addressed.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, okay.
That's my like,
Yeah.
that is the thing that stuck with me throughout
Yeah.
that film.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bring it back, come on. And then they never did. Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness, come
We'll
on.
see. We'll see.
That alien ship thing sounds insane. Very intrigued.
I'm just listening to everything about this film, having not seen it.
Yeah, same. I'm
Yeah,
with you,
sounds
Ben.
like Snyder.
Well, now you can talk, Ben, because it's your turn.
It's your turn, Ben.
It's my turn. Speaking of alien ships, my number 5 is Dune.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Or
cool.
Dunk.
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 I believe
Bloody
it's called.
Dunk.
Again, kind of similar themes to a lot of our number 5s. It's a flawed movie. It's not perfect. It's definitely quite boring in places, I would say. But I really enjoyed it. It's really pretty. Josh and I and my partner Jay saw it in IMAX, which is like, in my opinion, probably the best way to see it because
Yep.
you at least get all the pretty. And yeah, no, I think for what Dune is, they did probably the best job they could of adapting it to a film in this day and age. And yeah, look, it's the first part of more parts. That's, I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like I as someone who's read some of the books.
Yep.
But I also, it's also just, it's just nice. It's a nice, like, it's a nice sci-fi political romp drama.
It's a
my kind of bullshit.
No, keep going
Yeah.
through the English dictionary because that movie has all the words in it.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you
no,
got-
it does. It does. And my one of the things I love about it is just that they say words, and just accepting that people will know what they are, but most people don't.
No.
And it's the kind of movie where you probably need subtitles, but you don't get them in cinemas. So they're just saying
To be fair, seeing it in IMAX, you wouldn't be able to see the subtitles because you'd have to look
That's true.
over the
Yeah.
little railing bit. So
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. It's
When
funny.
you-
I'd sound like I'm not talking very highly about this film. I did enjoy it quite a
no,
lot.
but you're talking with the energy of this film.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just
Can I just clarify something? Because you said you read some of the books, and
I
from
read
memory,
some
you
of
didn't.
the first book.
Yeah,
Yes.
you didn't read like
Yes,
some of the
yes.
series. You just read
Yes.
parts of one or some of the
Yeah.
books.
Yes, I've read the start of the first book.
Yeah, cool.
3 times.
Yeah, nice.
So I
nice.
was very familiar with the first
Yep.
30 minutes of this film.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I
and-
was about to say maybe that much of the books is that much of this film because there's not much of the entire story.
yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's definitely just an introduction to a film.
But I do think some of the performances in it are really good as well.
Yeah.
Like, other than Timothy Chalamet.
What a
Yeah.
dry
Who is-
man.
But at the same time, it's as bland and boring as Paul is in the books.
Yeah.
I do think all the other performances are very, very good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think anyone really, maybe Dave Bautista, but then again, he's playing a bit of a dumb character, so he's
Yeah.
kind of acting a bit dumb.
He's doing what he needs to do.
I thought they sort of fit the world that they were in. For the
Jason
most part.
Momoa is fantastic. Oscar Isaac is fantastic.
Very good.
Basically, yeah, it's a very good Denis Villeneuve
Oh
film.
God, yeah. Yeah, it definitely fits in his canon for sure.
Yeah, this is actually number 6 on my list, but I didn't want to put Spider-Man here because we're going to be talking
There you
plenty
go.
about Spider-Man. So
Good. Fit there, man. My number 4. It's weird because we took so long to get to number 5 in the games one, so it's weird to be at 4 already. My number 4, and this could be higher up in the list. It's been a very good year for films. Is Mitchell versus the Machines.
my 4 as well.
Is it your number 4 as well?
My 4 as well. Yeah.
There we
Damn
go.
it, I never got around to it.
This
wanted to.
does pretty much everything Spider-Verse did for 2018, where it's just like a perfect story. It's a unique animation art style that marries well with it, and is just constantly surprising and endearing. Like those two, Lord and Miller, they just know how to get at you from an angle that no one else does in terms of comedy and like. It's always family. I guess his thing is always it's either family or finding one's place in the universe, and this marries those two ideas that so many of their films do it beautifully. The score is great. It's Daniel Pemberton, I think. I feel like it might be him as well.
I need to go back and watch it because it made my list because I knew it was very good, but I don't remember that much of it because it was very early in the year, I think.
It was,
So, yeah.
The basic story, if you haven't heard about it, it's on Netflix, so if you've got Netflix, you can watch it, is a young girl is moving to college away from her family. And at the same time, a tech giant is introducing basically androids to the world. How could those two stories collide? Surprisingly really well. I remember seeing the trailer and it seems like it would be the most generic like robots take over the world plot, but they it is like it in the same way that I love Lake and everything. It's like it knows exactly what plot it's trying to tell. It just tells it the best way it possibly can.
Sure.
With the best set of characters. It's like it could be further up the list, but yeah, it's just been a freaking great year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fair.
Number 4.
All right. My number 4, which I doubt is on anyone else's. It's definitely not on Will's because he hasn't watched it, and I feel like he won't. Bo Burnham's Inside.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this to the point like I had seen virtually none of Bo Burnham's stuff ever. I'd heard about him, just never bothered to watch some of his stuff. Maybe some clips here and there of live comedy shows and stuff like that. But I heard so many good things about this. He's a musician, comedian as well. And I heard that he made this entire thing by himself, basically in one room during lockdown last year. That was last year. I don't know.
Yes, it was.
I don't know time anymore.
Yeah.
So I jumped on, watched it, and just loved it. It was funny. Some parts were pretty intense, sad. I was very impressed with how he used the rest of like
his room.
Yeah, how creatively he used his room by just getting like a projector and just very creatively, changing seemingly so much of the room around, even though it was mostly just projecting something on the wall to make it look different. And then the chaos of just his mind coming out in the organization of the room over time, like just more and more, he just didn't care about where cables were over the progression because he's like, I just need to do this and just record this, and cables are just tangled up. There's boxes of crap all over the room just throughout the progression of the film. I just found that super interesting and intense. I feel like he probably destroyed his own brain making this thing as well after giving up comedy for 5 years because he already had anxiety leading into it, had an anxiety attack on stage and had to give up comedy for a while to fix himself. Was ready to go at the start of 2020 again, was organizing a show and a tour. And obviously COVID happened. So then he made this instead. And it's an intense thing. Have either of you guys watched it?
Yeah, I was going to say I have watched it. I'd say it's barely a comedy. Like
kind of barely, yeah.
Yeah. It's if you look at my Letterboxd, it is actually number 2 on my 2021 list, which has some TV shows and stuff in there.
Yeah.
I excluded it just because it was a comedy special and I wanted to talk about a few other things, but it is totally like fantastic. And he's got a wild mind.
He does.
Like super creative.
Yeah. Like incredible. Like the music is so different and varied. Every song is so interesting. He birthed the Jeffrey Bezos song meme. Jeffrey. Which I didn't know where that came from until I watched the thing. But yeah, and then it led me to watch the other 2 comedy specials of Bo Burnham in reverse order of release. And I'm sad that I did that because I don't like the other things. I think this is the only thing you should watch of his at this point in time, because he gets more and more immature as you go back, obviously, because he does mature as he gets older. But it's just masturbation jokes half the time, and I just don't care about that anymore. It's not that funny to me. So yeah, it's Inside is definitely the one to jump in on. Don't bother exploring his previous stuff, I guess. Or if you want a good experience, watch his previous stuff, push through until you get to Inside, and then you'll see his progression and how much he's grown and improved over time. But yeah, definitely recommend if you're into that sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sam.
Look,
Sam.
my number 4 is nowhere near as interesting as what that sounds. It's
That's
just
fine. It's all good, man.
it's just Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I feel like because again, I didn't see a lot this year. But it's my number 4 just because I felt like it was a very fresh take and idea for a Marvel movie. I think I've said this to you guys a few times. Like I didn't feel like I was watching a Marvel film. I felt like I was watching like a martial
That's right,
arts
yeah.
film, which I really enjoyed. And I just found that like the camera work was like really good. Like the actual fighting style was amazing. It was so seamless, and every time there was just like a tracked shot that would show up that was just uncut, I was like, oh my God, yes. But yeah, overall, I just thought it was a very enjoyable, like you said, Josh, it has issues in the third act. I feel like everyone's had that opinion at some point in time.
Yep.
But look, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's an enjoyable movie and a decent watch if you're like a Marvel fan, you know? So yeah, that's my number 4.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Cool.
Eddie.
Yeah, my 4th is Mitchell and the Machines, as I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
There's a couple of things I do want to mention. It's got lots of blues and purples and vaporwave vibes at some points,
Sure.
which I'm very into. So that helped, definitely. And yeah, I think the main character is fantastically written. What's her name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I know.
Something Mitchell. Definitely, in my opinion, like the soul of the film. Like Miles is the soul of Spider-Verse and stuff. And I think definitely, I think she's written as an autistic character, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched it. But yeah, there's definitely like her own character is handled with like a level of maturity and tact that is really impressive from a writing perspective. And also there's gay robots who I love.
There's gay robots. Good. And the voice cast is great as well. They're not, like,
totally.
The Spider-Verse has some big names. There are big names in here, but they're not distracting. Like they're very well integrated into the story.
They're John Legend is in this film.
John Legend.
Insane.
La La Land's
Yeah.
John
Amazing.
Legend.
Yeah. Totally.
My number 3 it's Spider-Man No Way Home, but we'll leave that alone. We'll have one big discussion on that.
Yeah.
So instead of that, I'll give my money to Disney again with Luca, another animated film that came out
That's
this
my
year.
number 3 as well.
Oh, no way. Good. Well, I won't talk about it. I'll let you talk about it. We can talk about it when we get down to you. But yeah, No Way Home. It's here. It's on my list.
Nice.
And
My number 3
funnily,
is
just really quickly, funnily enough, No Way Home was also my number 3 that I also knocked off this to not talk about.
Too funny. You guys.
We're in sync, my friend.
That's it.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Free Guy.
Oh, nice.
So I just really enjoyed this. This was just a fun movie. It was the first movie that Will and I watched when he came down to Melbourne, which was great. I think it was that night.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And look at you guys now, not in Melbourne.
Not in Melbourne.
That's it. We're not. And COVID's more rampant than it ever has been in Australia. Just really enjoyable, fun film. One of the best video game films that I feel has come out before.
They get so close to doing everything right.
Yeah.
And then Taika Waititi uses an axe on a server.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, we were almost there. And the fact that he's like, this is the last one and then everything's gone. It's like, what the fuck do you mean?
It's not how that works.
The game's broken.
Yeah.
You've destroyed everything.
I feel like there's a scene that's made like particularly for Josh as well. So, that helps.
Yeah.
There's like one scene in that movie.
Totally.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
There are just some freaking great moments throughout it.
Yeah.
Okay, you good?
I looked for my shield, but I was like, it's not here.
What a shame.
Yeah.
It's behind Sam. Sam can find
It is.
That's
it
it.
is. It's over there. So my number 3 is actually No Time to Die. Which I'm sure Will is very surprised about.
Good.
Because I actually haven't seen any of the Bond films before this one.
Okay.
It's definitely made me want to go back and like see those films now. But like it's like I was really, really surprised by it because like I obviously know the character of James Bond. I know like the whole vibe that he gives off, which I've always like kind of enjoyed. But the movie did a thing within the first half an hour where it just got me really excited to be there. Like when he's surrounded in the car and like the turrets just come out the front. and the music and everything. I was like, I'm sitting in the cinema going, holy shit,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
So it just got me very excited. And then, very, very good film. All the action's great.
Yeah.
And Daniel Craig's just mate,
he's on top form,
how
man.
can you top that after
Yeah,
this?
it's
How
so
can
good.
you top it?
I
He
legitimately
can do
don't know.
Knives Out too. That's how.
Yeah, it's true. No, I don't know what they're gonna do for Bond next. This because this film is not just a celebration of Daniel Craig; it's a celebration of James Bond as a thing.
Absolutely.
Like it does. It like makes references to the entirety of the film's history. So it's like, I don't know how they're going. I just don't imagine what the future of this franchise is, but they'll do something.
I will just say one thing, like
Please.
a cool thing that I was doing through the movie, and like I don't know if this was the same for you guys if you've seen it, but like, as the movie was going, like because I don't necessarily know all the names of the actors that have played the character before Daniel Craig, but while I was watching it, I could see them like through him.
Yeah, totally.
Like I could see their version of Bond doing what he was doing in that time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just thought like, and that was just a weird thing that like my head was doing throughout the movie. I was like,
Totally.
oh, there's that one.
There's that one. Well, yeah, because
it was just like,
the
it was
film's
cool.
so broken up into those little kind of set pieces. Totally, there is definitely a tone to each of them that could fit with a
Yeah.
Bond for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
Nice.
Benjamin?
Yeah, awesome.
Benjamin?
Yes, my number 3. Where's my list going? Here's my list. Will said it already. My number 3, Luca.
Yeah, look.
Yes.
That's, in my opinion, one of the most unique films Pixar has done in a while, and it benefits a lot from that. I think a lot of the problem with Pixar in recent years, I mean, there's still good films. Like, Pixar doesn't generally make that bad films, other than some Cars. But
You leave Cars 1 alone, you little shit.
no,
you
Cars
did.
was great. No, I agree. Cars
Yeah.
2 is a fucking horrendous movie.
Yeah.
Luca is it's just beautiful. It's got like a little kind of film grain over a lot of it, which was a bit much at times, but was also like very much felt like it fit into the vibes of the Italian Mediterranean kind of setting they were going for. It's just a really beautiful story about two friends, possibly seems like at times more than friends.
Dude, not a Pixar. You can't be doing that. They're not
exactly. But it's just a wonderful, like, wholesome but also like heart-wrenching film. There again, we talked a lot about it, but there's just really strong performances from voice actors. I think a lot of animated stuff this year, that's the thing to highlight. It's just really strong performances from voice actors.
Yeah.
And Guardians as well. Yeah. But other than that, it's the other thing I'd say is it very much feels like, if you've watched a lot of Miyazaki films, it feels like Pixar's attempt at doing as close as they possibly can to a Miyazaki film, and they kind of get there.
Yeah,
they kind of get there, and it's my favorite scene is the bike race. The whole bike race towards the end is just, it's so well shot and delivered, and is a good payoff to the whole rest of the build up towards it. And
it's a gorgeous film. Like, it is.
Yeah,
it is. I think the best looking film this year. If I was to rate just things they've put in my eyes, that thing is just something else. And it's got not Ross from WandaVision is the dad of Luca.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's why he's got the massive mustache. That's
yeah.
That's
so
great.
Cool.
It was cool to see him in that. I think he was in that. He was in WandaVision, and he was also in Jungle Cruise. He was on the boat with Dwayne at the start, like the first group of people in that movie. He was
that is not a top 5 film.
not quite up there.
Still haven't seen it.
Okay. Oh, what the fuck, Samuel?
I know. I still haven't gotten around
but
to it.
He loves The Rock.
Right, okay.
I love The Rock.
He's got his head.
I do.
Have you
That's
guys...
my least. That I'm genuinely not kidding. That's below Justice League. Is my least favorite film of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Actually, that's a good idea. I'll find my least favorite.
The other thing I want to shout out from Luca is I can't remember what the character's name is, but there's just the one that's from the deep sea that is
disgusting,
and it's just that's the best scene.
Yeah,
I said the bike race was the best scene. That's the best the
big
uncle, scene.
Yeah,
but the uncle in just
and
talking.
It's Sacha Baron Cohen.
I think so. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Disgusting.
So
Disgusting.
funny.
My least favorite movie of the year, Shadow in the Cloud is on here, but that actually came out last year. The Guilty, which is a remake of a French film. It's starring Jake Gyllenhaal, where he's on a call. It's like cool in premise, but just fucking boring. He's a like a 911 caller, and he's getting a call, and it's the one it's the one I told you about, where it's like you're getting fragments of a mystery that gets its head turned on it by the end. But the Gyllenhaal's just a very generic man, and he just does not carry. He is the only person on screen for an hour and a half, and it's like, Jesus Christ, it's so boring. But I would also, Jungle Cruise is pretty near the bottom as well, Ben, don't worry.
Good.
My number 2 is The Father, which I don't think anyone else has seen here.
No.
The Father,
Anthony Hopkins.
it is, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is. I think he got an Oscar for this. He did. Yeah, I think he got.
He was at least nominated.
It was at least nominated. This technically came out last year, but it's also one of those ones where it was at film festivals last year, but released this year. So I'm keeping it into this year. And this film is the most affecting film. It is so, like, it will break your soul. Anthony Hopkins plays a man with dementia, and his world is just falling apart around him. And it's time loops. If you want a time loop movie, it's kind of that. Nothing makes sense. It is a frustrating film because you are him. It makes you feel like you have dementia. It is a fucked up film.
That's intense.
That you will not understand it until the film ends.
Right.
Because things just kind of happen and they're a little bit out of order, and his performance is just like heart-wrenching. Olivia Colman is in it as well, and she's phenomenal. There is so much I could say, but I don't want to say it because it's like you need to experience it. Because it is just like it's soul crushing. So if you want to cry,
is it on a thing?
I don't know. I watched it at the cinema at the start of the year, so I don't know. I don't know if it's on anything yet. But
it is his second. He won the Oscar for it, coming oldest Best Actor winner to date.
Mm-hmm.
It's his second one. He won for Silence of the Lambs as well.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
That's my number 2. There's not much else I can say without spoiling it, and I don't want to spoil it. This is just. If you can find this film and you want to just like feel emotionally drained, watch this movie.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Yeah, add it to my list.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, cool. Another movie, it's not that emotionally draining, but it also has Awkwafina and was the second movie that Will and I watched when we got there. Raya and the Last Dragon. So
that
good.
Is my number 2 as well.
Nice.
There you go. It's my number 1. So we can knock all those over here.
Yeah. So just so visually beautiful. And just, so much fun. I guess there is a lot of emotion in there. I think I did actually tear up from time to time.
Yeah, 100%.
There were moments. But yeah, just, I don't know. I just had a lot of fun with this. We talked about previously the game that
Kena,
thank you. Kena Bridge of Spirits. It does a better job of telling basically that story, I guess. Pretty much it's very similar, but better version of that. Just loved it.
So good. And I love that film as well. It's just like, it's funny because I was just thinking about it and I was like, Luca and Mitchell's are below it, but arguably tell more poignant stories.
It's just
but
the
for some
visuals
reason,
of this thing, man.
Raya is just like stunning and its story still like holds up. I think it's because it is giving us like East Asian story. So it's like, that's not something historically in the West we get to see as much of, particularly animated in this kind of style. Like we see a lot of like anime and stuff and that kind of art style animating these visuals and stuff. But I think it was so beautifully done, and you can tell that the people who made it are from, I think was a lot of like Filipino people who had made it, and like Indonesian and stuff as well. And you can very much tell that like those people are telling this story in a way that other Disney films historically might not have felt like that. Just like, I think all the character relationships, it's something I said about Luca and Mitchell's as well, but all the character relationships.
It's also, it's nice that Kelly Marie Tran got a win. After The Last Jedi. She's the voice of Raya, and she does a phenomenal job. That's very good.
It's great.
Sammy,
Oh, look,
Here it is.
I am so nervous to say what my number 2 is.
Just say it, Sam. Just let it out.
It's the Snyder Cut.
He gave us 10 seconds.
Congratulations.
We'll just let him have it. Just go.
Yeah.
It's all right, Sam. You can have
Look,
this.
again, I didn't see a lot this year, but look, like, just because of like the meaning behind this film, like, you know, all the money it raised for like the mental health and all that sort of stuff was great.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I know that it has got
That's cool.
issues. I'm not blindsided by that. I know it has issues. So before anyone tries to come for me, I know. Like, obviously, it's 4 hours. Like, I haven't sat down and watched it again since I saw it for the first time, because you really have to allocate like a full day.
It's pretty solid.
Like, it's not a thing where you can just come home from work overnight and be like, I'm going to watch the Snyder Cut. It's like, no, I'm going to watch it over 4 nights.
Yeah.
yeah, you have to be invested in this film.
Yeah, like totally. But like, the thing that I just really love about it is that all the characters were very accurately represented from the way they are in the comics. I think that like all the actors do great. I feel like in this we definitely got a better look at like Cyborg, obviously, but I was really impressed with the Flash. I thought Ezra Miller, like his performance in this was a lot better than what we had in like the original cut. And I just love when, you know, a filmmaker will give these characters their like really cool moments, and there was a lot of those throughout this. Obviously my favorite one was when you've got good old Steppenwolf about to hit Cyborg with the axe as Superman comes down and lands on his shoulder. Like that's probably like my favorite moment out of the film this year, just because it's like my favorite character ever.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love those big heroic moments. But yeah. So again, I know it has issues. I know that, you know, people hate it, but for me, it's just got a lot of like, you know, a lot of nice stuff in there that I appreciated.
It's miles better than the other Justice League.
Absolutely.
It
I'll
is,
give
yeah.
you that.
Yeah, cool.
And look, Sam,
Yeah, good.
literally only No Way Home is above it in my ranking of the year. It is above every other
okay.
Marvel film this year. And TV show.
Wow.
I think it's better than every TV show they put out and every film apart from No Way Home. So I'm with you, Sam. I think
It's a Christmas miracle.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm not with you, but that's okay. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. And I will also say there's another podcast I think we're recording later, and there is a moment from that film that is in my list of
Yeah. Same
cool.
for me as well.
So
for sure.
there's
I
some stuff
couldn't
in there.
remember any moments from that film. Sorry.
It's a long movie. It's okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we're back around.
Good stuff.
And I've already
Wait,
said
Ben had his.
Ben
That's
had
right.
his. My number one was Raya, so I'm already out of my number one. I love that film, and it's just I'm annoyed that it's a movie and not a show. If I have one complaint, I'm annoyed that it wasn't a TV show, because the story it wants to tell, I would watch that. I would watch 40 episodes of that.
It's
show.
like it's basically like the Avatar TV show
100%.
condensed in, but it's like I want the TV show version of it.
I want more, like I'm annoyed because I don't know what the extra story you tell there is, because it's a perfectly wrapped thing. Like, not to spoil it, but it's also a Disney film. It ends in a place of peace and harmony for an entire world. So it's like, what more do you do there? But I would love to. I'd love more of this. I'll take another Raya movie for sure.
Yeah.
I remember us coming out of Shang-Chi and you being like, I did that end was just Raya did it better.
yeah. Raya is
Yeah.
the better Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
It's okay for me. Josh, your number one?
Does anyone have a number one that's different to what we know my number one is?
Well, Ben,
What's your number one?
because
I want to talk about mine last.
What movie
because
have
it's
I
kind of
not
related
said
to you
yet?
guys.
Yeah.
Well, look, like I'll like to get it out of the way. I'll say that mine is No Way Home.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
same. Yeah.
So
Yeah, okay.
I think we're gonna have a chat about that anyway.
We
so
are.
I might as well just leave
Yep.
it. So
yeah,
100%.
Ben, the floor is yours.
Wait, are we
Yes.
talking about No Way Home in this, or are we talking about it later?
what I think we should do, we should be spoiler free and quick. And if you want to hear more, we're doing a full Marvel Studios thing, which will be all spoilers on the table.
Sure.
So if you want to enjoy a full, but like just in general from all of us, great movie, right?
Freaking
Great
loved
movie.
it. I cannot wait to see it. I will see it at least 2, if not more times before the end of the year.
Well,
And there's
3
only 6 days left.
3 is the magic number, Joshua.
It is,
Will's
yeah.
already seen it 3 times. I've already seen it twice.
Yeah.
Sam's already seen it.
3 times.
I've
2
seen
or
it
3
twice.
Twice.
Twice now.
Twice. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
great.
good stuff.
Great film.
So
As
good.
Will said earlier, works so much. There's one of those other ones which works so much better. Than
Yeah,
it
that's
has
the
anyway.
that's the third thing that came out this year that shouldn't work.
Yeah.
Like everything about that film should fall apart and be terrible, but it is just so rock solid in every
Yeah.
department. So
Yeah.
I still stand in the shower and cry at the scene that we're all thinking about.
Oh,
I still
dude.
just think about
Yeah.
that whole moment. It lasts for 3 seconds,
yeah.
and I still just stand in the
Oh,
shower
man.
and cry about
I'm
it. It
so excited
sucks.
to talk about that movie.
Mhm.
Let's
I stand in the shower and think about you having a cry about it, Josh. That's what I do.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
that.
welcome, man.
I don't know where to go with that.
Ben, go,
That's
save
gonna be
us.
funny.
Well, it's kind of related in a way. My film of the year is Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah.
Nice, cool.
God, I need to watch that.
I wanted to watch it too.
Mhm.
This one was very recent. I just watched it basically a bit before No Way Home came out.
Yeah,
nice.
So might be related to that in some way. No spoilers.
Yeah.
But no, it is Andrew Garfield, easily his best performance.
Yeah.
In anything I've ever seen. And he basically learnt almost entirely musical theatre singing for this because it's like a different kind of skill. Like he could
That's very
sing,
cool.
but he didn't know how to do musical theatre.
Yep.
So he learnt it entirely for this film. Basically, for those who don't know, it is it's Lin-Manuel Miranda's adaptation of a semi-autobiographical musical called Tick Tick Boom by Jonathan Larson,
Yes.
who also did Rent, but basically died before Rent came out. So this is just before. I think this originally, his version of it came out in like 1992, and Rent came out in like 1994 or 96, and he died that year. And
this
it's
was also
basically,
Lin?
it goes,
This is him as well. Yeah. He's had three movies this year, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Mhm.
So yeah, it basically goes through his trials, the struggles and tribulations of trying to write musical theater and how much of a struggle it is, and living in New York at the same time and trying to have any semblance of a life, gain any kind of income while writing musical theater, which is not the most lucrative kind of thing and is very hard to like get any kind of footing within. And just I think everyone, even if you don't like musical theater, should watch this film. It's on Netflix. And just Andrew Garfield's performance throughout it is amazing. He's so emotive. He has range that I think we all thought, we were all like, yeah, you definitely have that, but we haven't had a chance to really see it yet. But he has, the range really comes out in this through all the songs, but also the not musical parts of it. He's very strong in as well. There's so many things I'm thinking of in my head. But without spoiling too much more of it, I think he is the star of this film, but like Lin-Manuel Miranda's done a very good job of adapting it. I think this is his first directorial performance. I'm not getting the words right just because I love this film so much.
Yeah.
But basically, this is, I think, his first feature film he's directed, and he's done a really good job of adapting it, but from what I can tell, making it enough of its own thing that it feels like a film that is not necessarily adapting something, but is paying homage to it.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So keen to watch it.
And yeah, I love
Really
Andrew
keen.
Garfield.
I love
him
Andrew.
so much.
He's
He's
so
amazing.
good.
It's his year,
Yeah.
man. It's his year. Another film that almost made my list is Mainstream, which is him and Maya Hawke, where he's playing a dude that is nobody and then rises the ranks, basically becomes Jake Paul. Jake Paul is in the film. That film is awesome. Yeah, no. There's another musical that he was in this year as well that I can't remember what that was called. But yeah, he's had a big friggin' year. It's a shame he wasn't in any other movies that came out this month.
Yeah.
No.
It's just so very sad. We just got some Patreon submissions for movies of the year. A few of them are unsurprising. From Dolphin Pants, Spider-Man No Way Home. Because of course. From Milk Please, we've got Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0.
Okay.
So something that I don't think any of us have got any
An
grip on.
anime that's like an anime film.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool. That's something different.
Mhm.
From BMAC, unsurprisingly, Ben, Josh, what do you reckon he's going with?
Dunk.
Spider-Man?
No,
I don't know.
Dunk. Ben said
Dunk. Of course it's Dunk.
BMAC loves his dunk.
Of course it's Dunk.
He
I
loves his
apologize.
dunk. Miss Hani is going with dunk, dunk, dunk. Spectacular, breathtaking gorgeousness. I might have to put that on our list now, actually. It's enough people have said
maybe.
it.
I'm so happy for everyone that really loved that film because there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it enough. I'm astonished that people can love it as much as they do, but I'm happy for you all.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Grubby, unfortunately, I didn't see any movies from this year, but I finally got to watch
Wow.
Weathering with You, a 2019 anime film from the director of Your Name, which I think I heard a little bit about this year as well. Honorable mentions to June and Spidey when I see them. So Dunk and Spidey continue to be the films of the year.
Yeah, there it is.
This one is from Joshi, who, Jesus, because not everybody can vote for No Way Home. So really, this is a vote for No Way Home.
Yep.
One that I thought might end up on Ben's list is Flora and Ulysses.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little bit lower down. But that's just because I think at the start of, it was one of the things that came out at the start of the year, so it was up high at the start of the year because not a lot of films had come out. But it's a very good Disney straight to video film.
Sure.
It's almost a Marvel film, but not really.
Yeah, it's got enough in there.
But it's got a lot of heart, and I do love it. It's definitely worth a watch if you're just looking for something like wholesome to watch that's on Disney Plus. It was a good one that filled in the gap earlier in the year when there was just nothing. So yeah.
Then two more. We got Terraformer, who is of course voting for Spider-Man: No Way Home. And then rounding things out is Emmy, who says movie of the year. I guess not technically a movie, but Bo Burnham's Inside was the movie-length piece of media that I enjoyed the most this year. I don't really think there are any other pieces of media from this year that I think about as much as Inside, equally dark and hopeful. It was absolutely phenomenal.
There you go. Amazing.
So there you go. That's why I didn't scoff at Inside.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, no, don't worry. Our favorite has also voted for it. It's okay.
Thank you, Emmy.
Thanks, Emmy.
Validated my thoughts.
Yeah.
So did Ben.
So this is our list. I have made the executive decision to keep Shang-Chi at bay because we've got No Way Home. That's our one Marvel pick.
Yep.
So in its place, Dunk finally has somewhere to live. And this is our list. There you go, Spider-May. That'd be a great movie. Spider-Man, fucking hell. Fuck.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Thank you, Joshua. Inside, Mitchell's vs. the Machine, Dunk, Luca, The Father, Raya and the Last Dragon, Tick, Tick, Boom, The Snyder Cut, No Time to Die. How do we feel? We feel good about that one?
It's a good list.
Yeah, I think it's a nice,
It's just us,
diverse list.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, totally.
It's the game of the year again. Insane year for films. Great year.
It started off slow. I will say that. My list was looking pretty shaky about halfway through the year. But came back with force towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
There's some really good
great
stuff.
surprises throughout the year that
Totally.
no one was expecting.
Just quickly give some honorable mentions to 3 TV shows?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was just about to say, yes.
Please.
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, cool.
Bring it in.
No, well, at number 3, I think we've all seen this and enjoyed this, but Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Good.
that was, really, really well done.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, number 2, no surprise, Superman and Lois.
Thank you.
Will, I know you enjoyed that as well for what you've
Absolutely.
seen of it.
Yeah.
And season 2 starting next month.
Oh,
which
God.
is
Wow.
which
So
is
soon.
insane. The turnaround for this show has been ridiculous. So I'm hoping that season 2 does hold up to season 1 because there was so many good things in that. Like every other show on the CW, it's got its filler episodes and moments where you'd be like, I can fast forward here.
Yeah.
But for 95% of this show, it's gold.
Nice.
And number 1, if you haven't seen it on Netflix, it's the Netflix series You.
Okay.
If you
Heard good
haven't
things.
seen that, I highly recommend. My partner, she got me onto it, and I am now freaking addicted.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I binged the
Yeah, go on.
entirety of season 3 yesterday.
Wow.
oh,
Jeez.
good. So
Shivers.
you enjoy it?
yeah. I watched the first
Yeah.
2 seasons.
You'd hope so.
last year.
Yeah,
Waste of a
cool.
day.
No, but I will just say it is a very it's weird to say enjoyable because there's so many like
It's just
insane things that happen.
It's really messed up. And like
Yeah, it
the
is.
amount of times
Yeah.
I've watched it, and I'm like, I shouldn't enjoy this. Like
Yeah.
I feel bad that this
Yeah.
is something that I'm so engrossed in.
Yeah.
But it, for some reason, it like never feels like it's quite overstepping the line. I don't know how. It's
Dude,
basic.
It's
It's basically
Yeah.
about murderers and stalkers.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah.
I think that the most insane thing about it is that they like when like for example, if they murder someone or if they're you know trying to get information on someone or whatever, they'll either say it as like a narration or out loud to the other character in the scene why they're doing what they're doing and why to them it seems right. The worst part about the show is that when they give their reasoning, you yourself go, oh yeah, that makes sense. But
Oh,
you
no.
sit there and you go,
Yeah.
no, hang on. They just wallop someone with a freaking rolling pin over the head. That's not okay.
That happens a
But
lot.
you're
Never
there
be
going,
okay.
oh yeah, no, justified.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it is like just a very well done show. Like, because I was torn between this and Superman and Lois for like the number one spot. I put you as number one purely because every episode you're always a bit tense. You're always wondering what's going to happen next. Whereas like with Superman and Lois, you do get like that sort of like wind down time where like there's not much happening sometimes. But yeah, if you haven't seen you, definitely go check it out.
It is something you will binge watch. I can guarantee
Sure.
you.
Yeah,
good.
You will start it and you'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll just watch it a couple
And then it's
episodes and you'll be
gone.
locked
There's been
into it.
many
Yeah.
nights where we're like, we'll just watch 2 episodes and it's like 10 o'clock and we're like, okay, one more.
It is funny that I don't think any other streaming service, as much as a lot of Netflix stuff fucking sucks, I don't think any other streaming service has nailed bingeable television. Like none of
Yeah.
the Disney Plus stuff do I go,
Yeah.
oh fuck, I gotta watch the next one. It's like, I'll watch it on in a little bit. Like same with The Boys and stuff on Amazon.
Yeah.
But literally every show Netflix, any good show Netflix puts out, it's like,
Yeah.
I need it all. Like I need to, like
Yeah.
Squid Game, it was like, I'll watch one and then you end up watching
do
the
it.
whole show.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Witcher as well.
The Witcher,
Haven't
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it yet, but yeah.
It's just like, it's crazy that no one else has hit. And admittedly, other services are going for the weekly drop. But even as a show, they just don't feel the way those Netflix shows do, where it's just
Yeah.
like, I need the next one. I just
Yeah,
need to get
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like with you, I think the cool thing is that nearly every episode ends with either some sort of cliffhanger, some sort of question, some sort of like new information getting dropped. And because it's something that is going to change the way the plot goes or the way the characters react, you want to see that reaction
Yeah,
in the next
good.
episode.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, now I want to watch it, like more of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Very, very
cliffhanger at the end of every episode, but it never feels like, oh my god, they did it again. Like it's just like, oh yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
What's the
good.
next
Yeah.
thing?
Nice.
Like it's like you won't ever really get bored while watching it,
Yes.
unlike the Flash.
You will be like,
you
what?
know?
Who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
And
if
another, I was just going to jump in if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, another show that I think I can't remember if Sam's watched it yet, but Disney Plus exclusive, really good show. A lot of actors that we really like, maybe some that we haven't heard of much before. MODOK, clearly.
Oh, that was
hates me
not
for
what
that one.
that was not what I expected.
Thank
But-
you.
Yeah, I know. He does a good build up.
Nailed it.
That was a good
build-up.
Only
The
murders
best
in
thing
the
is how
building.
proud he is of mentioning it.
The irony
too.
being both of these shows are actually Star Plus. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I
That's
was like,
true. Yeah.
okay, but oh no, he just doesn't realize that only murders. And then you said MODOK, and I'm like, I'm even more confused.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if Star Plus was if only
Yeah,
murders
it's on
was
Disney
Star.
Plus.
They were
Or not,
both on Hulu for America. And
Sure,
then-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, yes, absolutely that.
Yeah,
Fuck.
so-
just so everyone listening, he doesn't actually mean MODOK is worth watching.
No.
Is what he's actually saying here.
No, he does.
MODOK was a
He does.
joke, and now we're talking about a good show.
There you go. But only murders in the building. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good show.
Amazing.
You watched it as well, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
sick.
man. I was in love
Yeah.
with that
So
show.
good.
Like, because I got through like the first 3 episodes without knowing that you guys were watching
Yeah,
it as well.
sure.
So I was like,
I gotta tell
I don't know if,
Will.
like anyone else is watching. Yeah. I, was like, I need to tell them. And then I saw it in like a channel on the Discord and
Yeah.
I was like,
Good.
God.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got 3 shows. This is definitely a show to fit into like 5 good shows to watch this year. Like, I don't know.
You
Like, I
could-
feel like
yeah.
it's probably my number one show of the year.
I would probably
that
say
would be
so,
my
yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
It's between that and another for me.
And so
Should I talk about the other one?
finalize the 5 for us, Ben.
Yeah. The other one for me is Arcane.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the TV show based on League of Legends. But you don't need to care that it's based on League of Legends because it's so much better. And it's like, this is coming from a Dota fan. The Dota anime also came out this year. I got to give a shout out to that because it was better than it had any right to be. So, you know, it still was nowhere near as good as Arcane because Arcane, phenomenally illustrated, animated, done by a French studio. I can't remember their name. It's called Fortiche, I think. Fortiche is the name of the studio. But basically, it's on par in terms of its animation style with something like Spider-Verse, arguably better in the way that certain scenes are animated. There is one particular fight scene. I think it's in like episode 7 or so, which is my favorite fight scene I've ever watched in an animated thing ever. It's so good. And it tells, for as stupid as the League of Legends universe is sometimes, and like a lot of characters wearing skimpy outfits and stuff, it tells a very grounded story, like a really, really grounded story. And is a really good introduction to a lot of the characters that'll make you kind of want to go on the wikis a little bit and find out a bit more about those characters and who exactly they are and what they're alluding to and what their futures will be. And they announced that there's a season 2 coming for it, which I'm very excited about. Because definitely I'm keen to see how they make me care more about the League of Legends universe.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. If you want to watch 5 shows this year, make sure it's Arcane, Only Murders in the Building, Squid Game, Superman and Lois, and of course you. It's a great set of things. So make sure you have every single... Actually, no, you just need Disney Plus and Netflix. You're all good.
Yeah.
You're all good.
It's pretty good.
And then, yes, all those films. Plenty of stuff to put in your eyes if you didn't catch anything, especially Grubby. If you've got a perfect list of things that you missed this year now. You don't have to worry. But yes, that is our lists. If you want more of us and you're listening to us right now, you can go to youtube.com/each to their own and subscribe there, or go to twitch.tv/etonline. And if you're on either of those places, I don't know how you're watching this on Twitch, but congratulations. You can go to
Work something out.
Yeah, it's fine. You can go to any audio place, just search ETTO's Catch Up and we'll be there. And if you're on Spotify or Apple, you can rate us now. You could always do it on Apple, but on Spotify, give us a little star. Please boost us up the ranks.
5 of them.
Remember, this
Give
is
us
how
5.
you wipe. Until the next time, I've been Will.
I've been Josh.
I've been Sam.
I've been Ben.